it's okay, point A to point B. That's how it'll be. And the weird thing is that I'll be doing, checking out everything, and like, well, what's the ulterior, or what's the hidden thing, or this and that, and because that's the other thing we're talking about. It's like, what was it? What was it about season one? I was like, well, the first challenge is too hard, and then they made them too easy, and then they had to have these arbitrary reasons to get rid of people, and all the fans of the show were just getting so upset with Stan Lee as a result, which is a shame. I mean, and really what it was is that Stan Lee and the producers, they realized we got to get rid of somebody, and you could tell they had to scramble, they had to like spend hours thinking of a reason, or like, well, who do we get rid of? So, and it's like, yeah, that's what you had to do. And you know what? That's how I would approach it. I'd be like, and I know even with the cameras on me, I'd say, look, I will probably be the first one to go, and I know this because I'm just the least interesting, person here. There's nothing flashy, nothing zany about it. And also, I've done my bit. I served the purpose of what I set out to do, and that was to prove that, hey, even a regular person could be a hero. And because even then, that's the premise of the show, is that, well, all these people are heroes. Now, can they prove to be superheroes? But really, it's the whole heroic bit. And I think that was, I apologize. The real premise of the show, in my opinion, is remove the super part. Who wants to be a hero? That's all it is. Do you have the qualities of a hero? Anybody can have power, or any kind of power, but it's the personality, what makes the person, what motivates the person. That's that's what makes you a hero. And in the little interview I talked about it, I said, I talked a woman out of suicide. I talked a guy out of, there was a woman who was an invalid. I took care of her. Guy, I forgot to mention the guy with a bleeding head, but oh well, I really shouldn't bring that up and dramatize that anyways. And I said, but the thing is, I've been a lifeguard and I've been a soldier. Never did anything heroic there. And then, should have added in, and as a soldier, I was a failure. And they're like, what? Like, yeah, man, but that would have been a lot longer. They only had so much tape. Plus, the poor cameraman, the guy, he realized I should have a tripod because he was having to hold this camera by his hands. So like, eesh, poor guy. Let's see. So what was I talking about? I was talking about the first day. As soon as we walk in the Lair, as soon as we figure out whoever the rodeo trader guy was. That would be so interesting too, because everybody walking in there like, all right, who's the traitor? Who's the traitor? Who is it? What's going on here? And everybody be real hush-lipped, and that's the other thing. Because I was, just filming people throughout the whole day, just taking pictures and showing stuff, and I think some of them may have assumed I was the rodeo, and because I was also, I kind of held myself in a professional way. I was like, I'm here for the thing, but I don't represent anybody. But I want to, I don't think all of us will make it on. So I would like to interview everybody or give everybody a chance, and I will put you on YouTube. And that's just very professional manner kind of thing. So they might have been like, and but people kept giving me suggestions and ideas, for my costume and my persona. And I was like, yeah, you're a camera guy. Your camera steals their powers, and which I was like, that actually is a pretty good idea. One guy's like, your average Joe or something. You just, I don't know. But there's a couple of things like that. Hey, you be my sidekick. I was like, well, normal people don't have sidekicks. I was talking about, the first day in the house. They would ask, like, well, why are you saying this guy? Why, what do you mean you're going to leave? And like, well, because I'm not that interesting. I have the most bland character here. Everybody else has a very interesting character, and I've already proven the point. And, So what I'm going to do is, since I know I'm not going to win, I'm going to help all of you guys win. And I mean, if it gets to the point where like you have to decide between me and somebody else, don't pick me. All right, I understand this, and this is the reason why. And it comes to the point like, well, who needs to leave? Say me. When it gets to that point, and they're like, well, who doesn't? Tell us your true things. Who has to be a hero? Who doesn't? Who should go? Pick me. Just pick me right there. And just say Sky, average Joe, because he does not. Well, it's not. It's pick average Joe because he feels he has done his job. He has done his purpose. He understands, what he wants and what he has said, and that's I've done the thing. I have I stepped in, and I hope So in ways, I hope that's like the first challenge they give is like, all right, well let's talk to everybody. Let's get everybody's background story and what's their what they think and this and that. So what do you think? Do you think that person should go, or because that would be a real neat challenge? Because the other aspect is that nobody knows each other. They haven't started developing that group bond thing, but also since everybody's still individuals, that's where they go. Like they're going to give a very honest appreciation of each other member. So I think that would be a great way to start it. And because just like really get it out there, what each person thinks. Because the other thing you're going to do is people who may be lacking in one way or another, if their flaws or what they what others think are bad or qualities or not the best qualities, that'll give those people something to work on. So through the rest of the show, that's what they're doing. Is that they're trying to work out their flaws. They're trying to improve themselves, and maybe those flaws will they will come back to haunt them, to kick them out. So hey, go for it, sci-fi. I would say kick me off. Have me be the first to go, because I've done what I meant to do, and that was to prove that anybody can be a hero. The message is already being delivered. As soon as everybody tunes in, they're going to see this, and they're going to say like, he's right. This guy has stepped forward. He says anybody, me watching this TV program, could be a hero. He's proven his point. And I can go. And the thing is, the key is that that gives everybody who has their honest reason and their honest thing, it lets them go, or it lets them continue on the show and really give them a chance. And it helps out the people who have need to work and develop their flaws, make themselves better if they need to. Because that was the problem with the first challenge. Was it was just too hard. They didn't, in my opinion, lay out the parameters too well, and that's what really got people. They understood, what was meant, but they didn't understand, fully what everything entailed. So that would have been a good last challenge. Do that this time. Say, hey, here's your simple thing, but what's more like, well, you say, well, this you have to do these two things, and it's like, okay. So much praise of Fat Mama and feedback and Major Victory. It's like a lot of people are like, quoted or talking about Major Victory. It's like, yeah, that's the guy. He's the guy and feedback too. And it's really too that you can interact with the people who were on last year's show. So I may have to do that. I'm going to have to send those guys an email and say, there's you guys made the show. Those three in particular, but everybody, they made the show, and they really, who would have thought, it would be, that would be good reality TV, people pretending to be superheroes. And you know why? Because they're not pretending. They are living it, it's, how do you approach that? So that's the way I'm going to approach it.